quality air, and that lets you save. Look here.
True Form Life.
Green look on it.
Welcome to another edition of Exploring Mind and Body. As always, I'm your host, True Form's Drew Taddia, fitness expert. As promised, we have Prema Sai's owner, Charis Curtis, on for an interview, and we're talking about one of my favorite segments called Adapting. All that and so much more coming up on...
This is Exploring Mind and Body with True Form's Drew Taddia, fitness expert on 96.5 CKFM.
All right, we have Charis Curtis with us this evening. She's joining us from Prema Sai. Thanks for joining us on another edition of Exploring Mind and Body, Charis.
Sweet, thank you.
Why don't you tell us about yourself before we move on any further so the viewers know who we're talking to?
Just like my own self, like Charis Curtis, who is that?
Yeah, who's Charis Curtis?
So I am a holistic therapist and an astrologer and a mother of two. And I live in Calgary and run a center called Prema Sai Holistic Living, which is mostly body work, but we also have Eastern physicians like Ayurvedic doctors and Chinese doctors and homeopaths and stuff like that. So yeah, that's who I am. That's my whole life.
So how long have you been running Prema Sai for?
September 1st is going to be 9 years.
Wow. That must be quite the journey of 9 years of running a business. It's been quite the journey for me.
I've grown up running a business, that's for sure. Yeah, I started it when I was 23, so.
Wow, young entrepreneur. You're doing a couple other things. You want to let us know what you're doing besides Prema Sai real quick?
Besides Prema Sai, I have a company called the Road Collaborative, and it's basically to promote other truth tellers, healers, entertainers through agency and event planning. And then I also own a company called the Baba Juice Company, which is our cool little hybrid company that creates 3-day juice detoxes and delivers them to people's doors. So people can learn about juice cleansing, and they don't need all the equipment and to make all the mess. So. Nice. And then we have a publication called Holistic Living Magazine that attempts to kind of bring everything together.
I've actually tried that Baba Juice, and it is delicious. Well, for the most part, the things that you're doing and what I'm doing and how we've come together is helping people. And would you like to tell us how that started, or why your mission is a lot like mine in helping or improving lives?
Yeah, and I'll try to watch my language. Because whenever I start talking about like mainstream, like corporate motivated nutrition, I get a little bit crazy. But basically, I think that you and I have similar missions only because there's so much BS out there around like what is true health, what is true nutrition, what is healthy, what is wellness, and it's my belief that, you know, good food, clean water, and good guidance from a qualified body worker, shaman, priest, whoever you are, is a birthright. And I feel strongly that our system has been created out of corporate interests, corporately driven products such as pharmacy, nutrition that not only doesn't sustain you, but sets you back.
Right.
And there's something inside of me that just wells up every day, and I just keep telling the truth on some level, and I'm trying to teach myself how to, you know, do that through business and make it lucrative to create more opportunities for, to like, I feel like it's a mission of human freedom. I really do.
Mm-hmm. So things have been going quite well. I mean, I'm relatively new. I've been living a healthy lifestyle, you know, most of my life, and working towards better health as, you know, I've dealt with the fitness industry, which is quite a farce with what they push on people. But you've been doing it for 9 years. I'm into it for a year. So, I mean, you've definitely been successful with whatever you're doing concerning the health. So
that success is like an interesting term, but yeah.
I'm sure there's been some ups and downs, but as long as you keep moving forward, you're probably doing some good things out there.
I think so, yeah.
So some exciting news for us, me personally, True Form, Complete Truth is Prema Sai, and in the last show I talked about how how grateful I was for you welcoming me into your staff meeting and doing a little presentation. So you guys have decided to work together with Complete Truth, and are doing some great things with that at your Prema Sai. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So my company mostly consists of service bookings and like a tiny bit of retail, and then some education. So we have we haven't integrated any kind of nutrition into our center formally, like delivery, other than the baba. But that, like I said, is kind of like a hybrid. Like it gets produced, it drops on the doorstep, so it's never really for sale here. So we find, like, not just our clients, but also us, like as body workers and practitioners, we're starving, right? Like there's, if you leave the house with an empty bag, then, you're not going to get through a day of body work without eating something crappy for you. So it was born out of a desire to have some nutrition handy for my staff and for myself, and just because we were working long days and trying to stay, balanced in a certain way, like keeping blood sugar levels even. And we've just found, like, using the Complete Truth has been super beneficial to maintaining a steady amount of energy, into like clearing your head, especially people who are, like, quote unquote sensitive or tapped in, or however you want to say it. They're really sensitive to chemicals and to crappy dairy products and gluten products and stuff like that. And with Complete Truth, it's really quite simple to just kind of chuck everything into a blender, and everybody feels great, and their skin's bright, and they're hydrated, and that's really all it takes. So we're just trying to make it super simple for our clients to kind of pick this up, and just make it be like something that they have every day, because you can't really go wrong with it, with the hemp and the quinoa. Yeah,
it's fantastic. You guys are doing great things with it, and it's so important to treat your staff well and to lead by example, and you guys are doing that with Prema Sai and the product, so I couldn't be more happy to be working with you guys in that aspect.
That's awesome. Yeah, we love it. We love it.
So it's going pretty well then?
Yes. And I made I made Stella, my daughter, her True Form popcorn again the other day. And it's because if you put it on popcorn with like a little bit of butter, it tastes like cheddar cheese. Yeah. And so I'm like tricking her into eating like hemp and quinoa when she's asking for junk food. So
that's cool. That's
great stuff, yeah.
That's the first time I heard that. And you know what people ask all the time, is this okay for kids? And
oh God.
And and my response is always, the sooner we get kids on real whole food, the better off they're going to be. So,
do you call your doctor before you take them to McDonald's?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Just lastly, what do you guys are making the Mexican 2012? Was that it?
Yeah, that's only because I was in Mexico.
Okay.
So Mark named it just because, I don't know, it's like it's a funny thing. I've been to Mexico so many times this year. I'm just trying to get grounded. The Mexican 2012 was like a little bit of coconut milk and some water and pineapple and papaya. And it's meant to be drank the same day because it doesn't keep well, but that's only because of the coconut milk. So you could easily just make it water, and you could probably drink it for 24 hours, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it definitely keeps for a little while, but you're right. We've experimented with other mixes and smoothies, and they haven't lasted. We'll figure something else though.
Yeah, we made this really delicious pudding the other day with it as well. Like we used some almond butter, some honey, some cacao, and the Complete Truth, and we mixed it and whipped it, and my kids thought it was chocolate pudding.
Wow. That sounds delicious.
We put some raspberries on top of it. It was awesome. It's just such a nice food base. Like, it's great that it goes so nicely into smoothies, but like we've been baking with it and pancaking with it and doing all kinds of test kitchen stuff with it, and it's pretty amazing stuff. So
nice. You're gonna have to make.
Congrats to you.
What's that? Thank you. You're gonna have to make your own complete truth recipe book number 2.
Exactly.
Okay.
I think I'll just contribute.
Okay, I'm good with that too. So I've talked just a little bit about, we have more plans, and how passionate we are about health and improving lives together. We do have more stuff going on, but we'll release that in the future. But for the time being, I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show, for being a part of Complete Truth and helping me improve lives together.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, thanks for joining us, Charis. We'll talk to you later.
Exploring Mind and Body with True Form's Drew Taddia would not be possible without the help from the following sponsors: Lens Chiropractic, AG Foods in Didsbury, CLC Fitness Center, Health Street in the Cornerstone Shopping Center Olds, and Shoppers Drug Mart, working together to help build a healthier tomorrow. For more information on True Form Life, Drew Taddia, or how to become a sponsor of Exploring Mind and Body, visit trueformlife.com.
In this segment, I want to talk about adapting. Because as humans, that's what we do. If each culture, or civilization, or humanity as a whole didn't adapt, we wouldn't be here, period. That's what we do. And that's how we've been able to survive for so long. This is no different from animals in Darwin's survival of the fittest. Those humans that live in warmer areas have darker skin. Think that's a coincidence? The giraffes that had a shorter neck were weeded out. And speaking of weeded, do you think plants haven't adapted and changed so their existence carries on? We were born to adapt to our environment, which is exactly what happens when we exercise. Our bodies get used to certain things. When we lift weights, the stress we put on our muscles actually causes them to break down and build back stronger, in case the same stress is put on the muscle again. This is an incredible defense mechanism and shows how our body protects themselves by adapting. If we repeat the same process over and over again, our bodies will become resistant to the same process because they've adapted and are now prepared for the stress. This is what happens when we run into a plateau. Our bodies have adapted to the same stress that has been put on time after time. And this is precisely why muscle confusion is so important. By changing exercise and weights, rest time, numbers of reps, etc., we don't allow our bodies to adapt and prepare for the next stress we introduce to it, meaning our bodies will adapt again and again, changing, forming, and offering those results we sweat and sacrifice for. We must keep improving. We must continue to work hard. We must increase, change, and confuse. I understand it's not in the instructional manual. Most think that if you eat clean and exercise a few times a week, you'll get the results you're after. And I know this is a hard concept to grasp because I teach it, or try to, each day. The easiest part of exercise is to drop the first 5 to 10 pounds. We've started working out 2 or 3 times a week. Great. We've started to clean up our diets and are eating better. Fantastic. Why isn't this good enough? Why don't we continue to drop weight? Because we're still eating better and we're still exercising 2 to 3 times a week. The answer is because we've adapted. That's all there is to it. When we're talking about goals and achievements, things we want and don't, we have to consider sacrifice and commitment. Some people aren't willing to commit more than twice a week for workouts. Some people aren't willing to continue to find ways they can improve their diet. This is all perfectly fine by me, but trying to explain to someone they need to continue moving forward and improving on what they have isn't the easiest task. Some people have started from ground zero. Some people have started and jumped up from the very definition of a sedentary life. I completely understand at times we feel like we can't do anymore. At times we feel like we're doing enough. I don't make the rules. I'm not the bad guy. If I had the choice, I would make this world very easy to make healthy choices. I would turn everyone into healthy, fat-burning machines. Aren't people happier when they're full of energy, feeling good about themselves? There's nothing more I'd love than to deal with happy, energized people all the time. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. I've listed above exactly how it works because I've seen it my whole life. You want to get better at something? You improve. You want to learn more? You don't sit around thinking you've learned enough. If you want to get fast, you practice and do drills to run faster. As I've said this a million times, there's a method to success that can be copied and followed. If we want to get in better shape, we spend more time working out. If we want to feel better and live healthier, we continue to eat better and learn how to eat better. That's how it goes. That's the way it's done. To beginners, this is going to sound like a never-ending cycle without a finish. That's not the case. First of all, living a healthy lifestyle is more beneficial than words could describe. Do you have a weak immune system and get sick easily? Are you tired of getting sick? Improve your health and enjoy being healthy when others aren't. Drag yourself through the day because you have no energy?